Assalamu alaikum. In the last video, we began the discussion of the purpose of school by defining two types of value, intrinsic and extrinsic value. We looked at food as an example of something with intrinsic value, and money as an example of something with extrinsic value. In this video, we want to determine whether the value of school is more like money or more like food. Should we enjoy our education and get nourishment from it like a delicious and wholesome meal? Or should we accumulate it and save it like money to spend later on something we really want? Most young people spend a huge portion of their childhood and adolescence in school classrooms. Sitting in desks, listening to teachers, reading, writing, doing assignments, taking quizzes and tests, and maybe spending a little time socializing and having fun. This normally starts at the age of 5, but often even younger, at 3 or 4, until 18, when students are practically adults. For at least 13 straight years, they spend 10 months a year, 5 days a week, 7 to 8 hours a day, from early morning to afternoon, in the daily grind of schooling. So why do you do this? Why are you putting yourself through this hardship and struggle?
I don't have a choice.
So why do you go to school? Well, maybe like Spider-Man, you feel like you don't have a choice. But maybe there's a couple of other reasons. Another reason could be that that's what everyone does.
Oh, go ahead. Follow the crowd.
Or you do it to socialize and be around others, to be part of a community of people.
People like being around people.
Those are common reasons, but now that you're older and wiser, not a helpless little kindergartner anymore, you can decide for yourself why you come to school. So what is the best reason to come to school?
Why?
To get educated.
An education, lad.
I want an education.
The best reason to come to school is to get an education, of course. Actually, I'll let you in on a little secret that schools don't normally talk about. The secret is that you're learning and becoming educated all of the time, outside of school as much as inside, maybe even more. You're gaining knowledge, skills, and experience. Your understanding of how the world works is increasing and deepening all the time. You don't necessarily need school for that. But at school, we learn a particular set of knowledge and skills that is often referred to as academic. You've probably heard your parents or teachers talk about academics. What they mean is learning subjects like English, math, science, social studies, art, and at an Islamic school, Quran and Islamic studies. Academics also often refers to the behaviors and activities associated with learning these subjects, such as taking notes, studying, doing homework, and taking tests, etc. Why would you want to learn academic subjects? What's the value of getting an academic education? Well, an academic education has both intrinsic and extrinsic value. It's like both food and money.
My mind is blown.
Let's start with the extrinsic value, because that's what you're probably most familiar with. You may be surprised to hear that the education that you can get in school is like money. But if you think about it, it's probably the most common way of looking at school. When you get good grades, a high score on a test, complete a grade level, or graduate, you can take that achievement and cash it in, or use it to get some other thing that is more valuable to you. Good grades in school can be cashed in for the happiness of your parents, or for the respect and admiration of relatives, friends, and community members. This is often what motivates people to succeed in school. Not because the learning has value and benefits in itself, but because they can use it to get something else they consider valuable. Think about it. Do people really care about getting high grades and scores for the high grades and scores themselves? Or is it because it impresses others? And I don't mean that it impresses others in a bad way, but just that other people will respond in a positive way and say things like, "Wow, you did so great," or "You're so smart." They may even give you rewards like special treats or even money. If you got amazing grades on all your assignments and tests, but no one else ever knew about it, that would definitely lower the value of those grades in your mind. In a way, grades are for other people. They're proof that you can show to others that you've accomplished something. Another extrinsic value of education is that it gives you access to material benefits. You can use good grades in high school to get into a good college. If you get good grades in college, that will help you graduate, and your degree may help you get a higher paying job. The money that you earn from your job may allow you to buy a nice house and a nice car, support your family, and have a comfortable life. So these are some of the extrinsic values and benefits of an education. There are all good things and good reasons to get an education, but there are better reasons to get an education, its intrinsic value. The intrinsic value of learning and education is based on the idea that knowledge, understanding, and skills that can be gained by studying academic subjects have value and benefit in themselves, without having to cash them in. So what value do they have? The knowledge and understanding that we can gain through studying the usual academic subjects like science, history, language, geography, literature, math, and art, not to mention Islamic subjects like Quran and Islamic studies, benefit us as human beings and as Muslims. These subjects give us insight and understanding of important aspects of reality, the universe, and human beings. In Islamic terms, we can better understand important aspects of Allah's creation and appreciate the teachings and guidance of Islam. Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, in a famous saying addressed to his companion Kumail, alluded to the intrinsic value of knowledge by contrasting it to wealth. O Kumail, knowledge is better than wealth. Knowledge guards you while you have to guard the wealth. Wealth decreases by spending, while knowledge multiplies by spending. And the results of wealth die as wealth decays. O Kumail, knowledge is belief which is acted upon. With it, man acquires obedience during his life and a good name after his death. Knowledge is the ruler while wealth is ruled upon. O Kumail, those who amassed wealth are dead even though they may be living, while those endowed with knowledge will remain as long as the world lives. In addition to knowledge, many of the skills that we can gain through academic subjects are also useful in a much more important way than just helping us score well on tests, get into college, and impress future bosses and employers. These skills can help us distinguish truth from falsehood.
That's propaganda.
Make it harder for others to misguide us. And make us more effective in guiding and helping others. Those things are much more important than grades, test scores, college admissions, and getting good-paying jobs. To go back to the analogy with food, in the same way that food is necessary for the development and well-being of our physical bodies, the knowledge and understanding that we gain through an education are essential for the development and well-being of our spirit. Education is like spiritual food. So I think we can all agree that the intrinsic value of education is much greater than the extrinsic value. Well, what's the point of discussing this? Both types of value are good. So why don't we just enjoy both of them?
It's a good question.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
We should enjoy both, but there's only one way to do that, and that's what we'll discuss in the final video of this series.